All right, we're rolling. Welcome, people. I'm sitting here with a very old good friend of mine, Mr. Dan Hickman.
How we doing?
And we're sitting at the top of a mountain watching a beautiful sunset. Coming to you live from Sedona, Arizona. And we decided to sit down and have a little talk about how we ran into each other here and just flow and see where it goes. So,
absolutely.
One thing I want to start off by saying is one of my intentions in the videos that I've been making is I want to put synchronicity on camera. Those events that are so on purpose, way too coincidental, you know, meant to be, where just the energy aligns and beautiful things happen. So a couple weeks ago, Dan had commented on one of my photos that I had put up on Facebook, and I hadn't talked to the guy in forever, and we used to play baseball.
I think it was like 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
didn't sleep much that day.
Yeah. So, you know, he was just asking what I was up to, and, you know, I was talking about some of the inner work I was doing, and he had mentioned that, you know, he's on his path and being vegan and doing his thing. And so the other day when I got to Sedona, I just randomly looked at my Facebook, or I think it was Instagram, and I saw your Instagram.
Yeah. Well, we weren't trying to share where we were too much, but rolling with 3 kids, you know how that goes.
Right. But it was crazy because I had glanced down at my phone and I saw him running on Instagram and it said Sedona. I said, wow, this guy's in Sedona. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And then Barry and I were going to a grocery store to pick up some food, and I've had this feeling like when you connected with me, I know it was just over Facebook, I had this feeling, I'm like, there's something here. Like, am I supposed to reconnect with Dan? I haven't talked to this guy in forever. It was
also about your what you were illustrating on your Facebook. It was kind of calling my name too, because I've never been spiritual before. My wife helped me kind of find that, and there's something about your page or whatever you posted was calling my name about the personal development side. So right back at you.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. And it's like, you know, similar energy attracts similar energy, so it's like we're both kind of looking at the same things in life or similar things. So I walk into this grocery store and I say to my girl Barry, I said, watch, I'm gonna run into Dan here. And like in the next moment, literally I run into him and his family in Sedona. It could have been any time in the day, could have been any grocery store in the world, and here we are in Sedona, Arizona, in the same aisle.
It was so funny.
Yeah. So give him the background. Well, like, how do we know each other?
So the first thing is that him and I both have great dads. That's how we connected. And bottom line, we played Greater Hamden baseball. Forget the full name of it. Yep. But we had a ball. If we lost, if we won, it didn't matter. You know, basically, we played for Bagel Connection. Your dad owned the bagel shop. He would bring bagels before the game. It was awesome. After the game, my dad and his dad, win or lose, would pay for Dairy Queen for all the kids. It was just a great energy. Our dads took care of us. They taught us what sports is about, learning and camaraderie with your friends, guys or girls, and just, you know, it was a lot of fun. And I think I still have the team picture in like my keepsake box. It's just a great memory, great chapter in the past. I think that's what, you know, that's why I had chills when I saw Mike. I was like, Mike Rosenberg. When I saw him, I had chills because we had such a great experience growing up, and also never really was invited to like a party before. And he had this awesome bar mitzvah with like a DJ, and I'm dancing with girls for the first time. So it was a lot of fun, and there was 2 great chapters in my life with Mike. So that's why when I saw him, I was like a little kid in the candy shop. So
yeah. Well, how old were we? We must have been like in baseball, 8, 9 years old, something like that.
But it's just a great experience to remember. I had chills, so it was awesome. Yeah.
So, you know, can you tell the people a little bit about your path, what you're doing, where you've been, where you're going, that kind of thing?
Man, I've been everywhere. I'm half black, half Puerto Rican. Grew up in Hamden, Connecticut, which is very diverse, which I loved, because there was all different types of people in our school. But I know parts of Connecticut there isn't. And I played ice hockey, I played football, I played baseball, you name it. I was just jock. And I really was telling Mike, I'm a chameleon. I can hang out with my African American friends, fit in. I can hang out with my Latin, Puerto Rican friends, fit in. I can hang out with white friends and fit in. And everyone's different. They're all brought up differently. But for me, it taught me how to kind of be chameleon in those moments. But I think being in the spiritual side, I'm actually finding myself and my vision. We lost my wife's mother a few years ago, and that's when we kind of realized that our life is precious. And we owned a home, 5-bedroom home that we built in Florida. Very proud of it, and just kind of fitting in with the Joneses, and doing everything that was what other people would think of me. And having a cubicle job, having 2 cars, just realized that things are just things. And when we realized that, we sold everything. We moved to the islands for 2 months to find ourselves. And then from there, no one ever dictated what we do. We're a plant-based vegan, not for the trend. We're in it to, if you fuel your body with grade A fuel, you're going to run like a machine. And at 36 years old, I've never felt so strong in my entire life. I wish I played pro hockey as plant-based. And I would have been a lot stronger and focused. Also, I don't really drink anymore. I don't need to. I don't have to fit in with anybody. I've never felt so great. So basically, I started a fitness journey in the process of growing a niche in an army of warriors, busy dads and busy men. That might have been, I kind of slipped like I did. The cubicle world got me. I was 27 pounds overweight, 37 pounds overweight, which I was in shape, most in shape in all my teams, all the time. And for me to slip like that and come home to a row of Oreos after a 45-minute commute in traffic, right? It's real, right?
I know.
And then on the weekend, I have to feel like I have to drink just to feel fulfilled and stimulated. And it's kind of sad, 2 hours mowing the lawn and all that stuff. Now no one runs our lives. And I'm looking to help those guys that might be slipping and want some motivation. And that's what the point of having the Daniel Hitmon page is, to just motivate guys and just say, I've been there, let's do it. I'm not some rock star Jillian Michaels personal trainer, but I've been there, and if we could do it together, that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm. And what's your social media handle so people can find you?
It's Daniel Hitmon. It's actually my nickname from Hamden High School. So my last name's Hickman, but Nick Redmond and those guys just call me Hitmon. Pokemon cards were pretty popular. Joe Ducato, Kyle Jepsen, Shawnee Galligan. They got in trouble at Kmart, jumping over, stealing Pokemon cards. But that's it's David Goggins, right? I follow David Goggins.
I do too. Yeah,
and
he's a beast.
He's a big guy, and I'm gonna kind of quote him, but put my name in it. So my parents made Daniel Hickman, but I made Daniel Hitmon. So that's my story, and that's what I'm going to leave on this earth before I leave, and hopefully just change people's lives and inspire them that they don't have to fall into the regular convenient world of America. Just if you find something that you love, do it, because you won't regret it later. So
what would you say to people that may have a fear or hesitation about acting on a passion or something they want to do in life, and maybe those self-limiting beliefs come up? It could be a money story or an unworthiness conversation. I'm not sure if I can make that happen. How do you get to the freedom on the other side?
I think 2 things. And I'm going to elaborate. I'm first going to tell you what they are. Initially, it's going to be hard. The other side is love. So that's something I've never really came to heart with before. But I'll start off with love. So this camera, right? Here's a GoPro. That would have never been able to be created unless someone loved cameras. You know what I mean? There'll be no cars unless someone loved building cars. Your hat. You know what I mean? It's like, so if you love something, you got to do it and burn your boats and don't turn back. The other side is realize it's going to be hard. I mean, the guy who built the Tesla car, you think that was easy? Everything that is created by all the people that are popular or successful, they didn't get it handed to them. They all worked their ass off and didn't get sleep. My first year and a half, I had coffee and drinking coffee at 2 a.m. in the morning because I'd go to sleep at 4 because my vision and my passion was driving me in my blood, in my veins. So it's gonna be hard. And if you love to draw, you love to paint, you love to make vegan donuts, I have no idea. You gotta follow that vision and follow the dream and follow the love. So if you don't love to drive to work every day, get a remote job. If you don't love the cubicle world and you have a terrible boss, become your own boss. So I think that's, in a nutshell, I'll say it, and it is hard. I call it the dark side. I've had 3 years in my company since August 6th that I took the plunge and I purchased my LLC, and everyone laughed at me, really. Not out loud, but kind of like, you're starting a physician recruiting company? Look, yeah, I'm happy for you. So a lot of friends will, in the back of their mind, good luck. I don't really think you can do it, because a lot of people will try to slow you down and create speed bumps in something that they can't do. So you want to keep pushing it through, and before you know it, before you think you're about to quit, I almost quit 3 times. I actually interviewed and got 3 jobs and still said no. So just when you think you're about to quit, you're almost there. I call it the dark side. I was in that mud for 1.5 years, and now I got an awesome partner who joined my team. I got an awesome intern. I have 2 awesome employees that are all part of the vision. So we call it the Mid-Atlantic Difference. And I run a physician, just to let you know, I run a physician recruiting company where we help doctors get jobs across the country, mainly radiologists, and for teleradiology as well. And we're making a difference. We're helping patients be seen by, we're not doctors, but we're part of the puzzle. We're helping people that are understaffed, facilities that are understaffed, have quality doctors see their patients and help them. And we're making a difference. But I love doing that, but I really, really love helping other people get through the journey, that the brick wall that I got through. So that's the whole point.
Wow. And it's really, I find it admirable. Like, I watch you and your family. You're doing, like, you're traveling. You got 3 kids.
Yep. We live
your
in
own
St. Thomas.
business. St. Thomas.
Yep.
I mean, and you had to make some big leaps to have that life. Mm-hmm. And I can relate, because I've been in corporate America for years, and this was literally kind of how our supermarket conversation went down.
Yeah.
And it's like
chills. Tons of chills.
Chills all over. You get caught up in that world of just kind of chasing a carrot in front of you.
Seriously.
And it's like money and possessions and all this stuff. And yeah,
I mean, it's an easy path. So I guess think about these trails, right? Tons of trails. But in order for us to see this sight, it took a hard trail. Do you know what I mean? So that's the whole point. I mean, you either can take the up there is where the parking was to go see the sunset, a beautiful sight, or we can hike downhill with babies on our back and kids to a rocky area and a cliff to see this amazing rock on top of this area that we can't see over there with all the other people. So that's what life is all about. So I'm taking that chance.
And you said, it's like that you can't see over there with all these people. Sometimes it's funny, we're kind of sitting on a mountaintop, and I always think there's many there was some famous quote or something that said, like, there's many paths up to the mountaintop, or many roads up to the mountaintop. I personally prefer the scenic one. I think it's very fulfilling, but sometimes you cannot see what's in front of you, so it's the complete unknown, right? You can take that straight path, that road, we could drive up here, we could sit behind a fence and we could watch the sunset with lots of people, or we could go find our own way. What would you say, as far as, like, speaking into the unknown, how has that, like, what's your relationship with the unknown?
The unknown for me was really, I've always been a forecaster, so you know, graduate college, play pro hockey, quit, get a real job, and work that job as long as you can until you're 65, retire. That's all known. The unknown is living every day like it's your last, but also realizing you don't wait till you're 65 to bank on your retirement. Who said you're gonna make it that far? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, these kids, this kiddo right here, I want to leave a legacy behind for this girl to know that she can live a life that she wants to live, and not fit in a square. You know, all those speakers, you know, you drive in a box to work, you sit in a box all day, you sit in a box cubicle, you sit in a box house, you sit in a rectangle box couch. Let's just live. Let's get out of the box and just live our life. But the uncommon is amazing, and I've always been different. You know, I've always done everything that's different. I mean, you don't see too many African Americans playing ice hockey or even professionally, and I've done that. I've done the uncommon in all different realms, and I've proved to all my friends, like, oh, you're going to be skinny being vegan. No, I'm the most ripped I've ever been in my entire life, and the fastest I've ever been running. So be uncommon, be different. Don't fit in a box. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I love that, because it makes me think, you know, it's boxes are like compartmentalizing everything, and it's just not the way that life is. We get taught about boxes, and we live in these safe boxes of what we know, but as spiritual beings living out a human existence, everything is connected. So your job, your family, your vacations, your hobbies, you know, it's all one, and it just kind of emanates from inside, right?
Absolutely.
So I found that for myself too, like trying to survive in these boxes, and it's like, all right, I'll go over here to work and I'll just be stressed out, and then I'll come home and same thing, drink and eat bad and all that. But it's when I started kind of venturing out of that box is when life started to take off. It's so funny because I'm finding so much in common with you, and it's been all these years, and we've never had a conversation about this. Like we even went through high school. First of all,
we lived on different parts of town. We had different parts of friends, but we saw each other, you know, here and there, all the halls, and we knew each other. And no matter what, we had that big of connection, right? But yeah, I was gonna say something, but I lost it.
I was gonna say, just like, he's a sick hockey player, okay? Because I used to watch him in high school. This guy can fly on the ice, but these connections are so special and profound to me, because it's like we go through life not knowing what somebody's about. We just played baseball, but we weren't really close in life since then, through high school, whatever. And it's really cool, you know, to meet up with somebody like yourself later. Like, this is special.
It's really an awesome. I think we're gonna have a long-term connection here. So, I was gonna say something else. I think also, if you're in that box, you lack innovation. So, like, for example, for about 3 years, 2002 to 2005, I was a crew manager for a painting company where we paint interior, exterior homes, and it was, you know, good money for me as a college kid. I mean, I bought speakers with it and subwoofers and all that stuff. But as soon as my boss would not be there, I wouldn't work hard. I would only work as hard as my boss thinks I would work hard. With having a company, I work so much harder because I'm driven by my passion, but also making sure that this little girl can get new shirts, earrings, clothes, you name it. And I'm driven by passion, but I'm also driven by being a dad and being a supplier for my family. When you're working in that cubicle office, you're just trying to make it through the day. I mean, at 3 o'clock you're done. You're just walking around talking to people. You're taking a long lunch. So if you can get a chance to be uncommon, work with your hands, you're going to work harder than you've ever worked hard before, because it's yours. And play with it too. Before I started a company, I started a resume writing business. I'm not even that great at grammar, but I knew how to make resumes stand out for interviewers. So find something that you're good at, test it before you get the leap. And I mean, I made $500, $600 on that after a month or two, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do this. So don't wait, just do it.
Yeah. Just go. You know, and as I'm listening to you also, it feels like this for me. It's like when in those type of jobs, in those type of environments, you're working for somebody else. You're living somebody else's dream.
Yep.
Right? And that's always the problem that I found with sales, is that they kind of give you this model, this one model that fits all. And I think you find that a lot in corporate and in many jobs, right? It's like, do it this way, you'll be successful. And it's just not true. We're all designed so differently. So I'm always kind of speaking into finding, hey, what's your unique expression?
Yep.
What's your soul imprint? What are you here to do? And what's the energy that lights you up? Follow that, and it will just lead you along the way. Like, I took money out of my 401k to come do this, right? And a lot of people would tell me I'm absolutely crazy. But to be quite honest, I think, I don't even know what the financial system is going to be here in like a few years.
At the end of the day, no matter how good you are at your job, you're always expendable. I brought in $5 million a year from my company. Still expendable, no matter what. It could just be the wrong boss that comes in and replaces your boss. You're expendable. So why not just try something on your own? Because you're not going to just, quit on yourself for your family. So you might as well, and bootstrap too. I started my company in the back of my Honda Accord. I quit recruiting for 6 months. I lasted 6 months and I'm back into it. 6 months later, I started my company and I worked late night. I worked early mornings. I worked during lunch times at coffee shops. I worked in my back of my Honda Accord in the medical park because my boss was following my GPS. But I worked my butt off. I still broke records to, at my current job. So you can do it. It just depends on how bad you want the uncommon. It's not about income. It's not about making extra money. It's about having quality of life for you and your family, and also just leaving that behind for your kids.
Amen, brother. Well, hey, I see the sun setting. Let's go take a look at that. Do you have any final words, or you want to leave the viewers with anything, any wisdom, words of advice? I mean, you've already left a lot, so you kind of said it all.
The last thing, just making sure that you're realizing you have to be healthy internally and externally, and your mindset has to be healthy, because you can be vegetarian, vegan, eat healthy, organic, but then be negative all the time. You're still toxic. So it has to all be together, and my wife has totally taught me that vision. And I have my flaws. I'm getting better and better every day, though. It's all about waking up to positive speakers, waking up to positive things, and calling your wife out or husband or anything out. If you hear anything negative, or if someone says something negative, flip it into a positive, and do your best on that, because mindset is everything.
You've inspired me, man. I really appreciate you doing this with me, man. This is good stuff.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
Chilling on a rock at Sedona.
Chilling on a rock at Sedona, watching the sunset.
two Hamden jabonis.
Let's get a look at the sunset here.
It's a bug.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Just interviewed your husband. It was great. Yeah.
Good job. Where'd he go?
He's back there. He's coming.
He's back there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I know there's another side of him.